this is the lesson learned. This is a pivotal moment for my life. You probably going through something right now. And you need to understand, you going through that is only shaping and creating you, and understand that pressure bursts pipes, but it also creates diamonds. So if you can sustain where you're trying to go, you can sustain that pressure, you can take those licks and keep going, you can just gain knowledge and wisdom over time while you're going through this shit, it's gonna be all good. So, like my boy Soul said, call that shit to the good. All the bad stuff, the divorce, you know, becoming a felon, you losing your job, call that to the good. Now I call it to the good because I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And the level of adversity that I've had to face to this day, I owe it all to God, man. I owe it all to Source. Because I knew it was shaping me to become this dude that I am today. So, allow that adversity to mold you, shape you, become better. This is how you become that 2.0 version of yourself. Become that man of interest. Learn different techniques of resilience, mindsets. Cut off the fucking music that you listening to. I remember when I was riding before I got a divorce. I remember I moved back from Texas because I was working in Texas to Hampton, Virginia, and I found a job that was 3 hours away from the crib. And I only did this because my ex-wife and her family was on my ass about coming home or whatnot. So I drove 3 hours there, worked a 10-hour shift, drove 3 hours back just to be in the bed with my ex-wife and talk to her for about 45 minutes just to eat, take a shower, and be knocked out and get my head back up at 3 a.m. in the morning to head out. I did this shit for like 2.5, 3 months. 2.5, 3 months, found a job closer to where we was at in Norfolk, 20 minutes away. I quit that job, and as soon as I got on the interstate, the other company called me back and said, hey man, we're not gonna hire you. Now I'm assed out. Talking about adversity. And that's when it all started. When the pockets got empty, she was done. But I needed that. You need what you're going through right now. Without you going through what you're going right now, you can't get to that next level. You can't make the adjustments. Now, if you continue to make that if you keep making those habitual habits after you going through this, now you're going to find yourself being right back in that same place, or you're going to end up being in something worse. It's a test. It's a test. Ain't nowhere around it. Ain't nowhere around it. So brace yourself, get around good people. Literally do a self-assessment of who you are, figure out what it is that you need to know about yourself, your attributes, how strong you are, how weak you are, what is it what makes you tick, like how are you wired, how do you solve problems, bro? Like how do you tend to interact with people? Like you need to get down to this nuts and bolts of who you are, what you are. Gotta do the work. So overcome adversity.